Hi, I'm Tony Kubek, and tomorrow night our telecast will come to you from Toronto, where the Blue Jays meet the Boston Red Sox with such sluggers as Carl Yastrzemski, Jim Rice, and George Scott. So we'll hope you'll join Tom McKee, Don Chevery, and myself for our telecast right here on CBC.
Hello again, everybody. Tom McKee back at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, and the Toronto Argonauts held on to defeat the Montreal Alouettes, suffering their first defeat of the season by a score of 20-14. And I still say it was a defensive football game, basically from beginning to end, and I think that Jim Corrigall would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree very much with that, Tom. We came into this game prepared very well defensively for the Montreal offense, you know, the type that they like to throw at us, especially in their whole offense as far as we were concerned was Joe Barnes. And if we shut down Joe's running and passing ability, we were going to shut down the Montreal Alouettes, and consequently I think that's just what we did.
Well, we've seen Jim Corrigall play a lot of football, but we've never seen him quite fired up the way he was tonight.
Well, it's for a lot of reasons, Tom. I was kind of upset with myself for many reasons, and I was kind of upset with a lot of other people, and I think the combination of the both kind of changed my attitude with regards to, you know, the second half of this season, you know, with the Toronto Argonauts, and I hope our winning streak continues.
Well, I guess you must feel, though, some responsibility on your shoulders when the season goes like this, because there were so many very, very close games.
Yes, there were a lot of close games, Tom, and consequently, funny, the closer we got to winning, the more problems we seemed to encounter. But finally, it's starting to all work for us, and hopefully we're going to start out on the right track as we did tonight.
Are you one of those people that can believe that one play like well, go back to Eric Harris's interception right near the end. Do you think that can change not only a game, but indeed a season?
Well, I don't think it can change the season, but I think it can change the tempo of a football game, and situations like that do arise do change the whole complex of the game. And, you know, it motivates the players who are participating, especially the players that are on, say, the individual who turns over the big play.
Well, I guess you'll have a little happier plane ride back to Toronto tonight.
Oh, let's hope so, Tom.
Because you've had some long trips this year. Thanks, Jimmy, for talking with us. Hello there. Ray Nettles, come on in here and sit down. You deserve a sit down after a game like that. This is the man that calls the defensive signals as far as the Toronto Argonauts are concerned. Let's talk a little bit, Ray, about what the strategy was before you went into the game. You certainly had the linebackers and your ends moving around quite a bit.
Well, just like Jimmy said, last time we played Montreal, they had 136 yards rushing, and 100 was by Jimmy Barnes. So we figured if we take away his scrambling, you know, and his dash stuff and running the ball and pulling it down and running it, and the linebackers dropped off, you know, we figured if we could take it away from them, that 100 yards right there, which gave them a lot of good first downs when we played them the first time, that we could probably be in better shape for winning the ball game. And that was the key thing, and we figured we could handle the passing game and the running game itself, but Barnes himself is what we had to contain, and that's what we were trying to do, and it seemed to work.
Now, he got away on you a couple of times. Was there any time that you thought you were losing this?
No, actually I never felt like we were actually ever losing the game. You know, you get a little worried when the score starts coming back at you, but we just had to win this game, and we worked hard all week, and the feeling was there all week. And defensively, we've been playing some good ball games, and even though we've had the record we're pretty second in the league in defense, so we still had our own self-pride about ourselves on defense, and offense was young, and they're coming along and they're learning more every game. So it was just a matter of the feeling was there all week, and we just kind of came here figuring we were going to win.
Did they throw any special wrinkles at you after halftime?
Well, not really. When they brought Wade in, we didn't expect any, dashes or sprints by Wade, because he's more of a drop-back quarterback. So we changed our defense up a little bit, but we didn't think they were going to try to change anything special for that second half.
Well, we've talked to a lot of the defensive stars, or at least a couple of them tonight, along with Eric Harris at the beginning of the third quarter. He was the man that pulled off that great interception and finally got a major on the scoreboard, the first major of the game, as a matter of fact. Let's move over to offense and see what happened there. Chuck Ealey is with us. How are you, fella?
Kind of tired, but I feel pretty good after that.
How's the shoulder, by the way? We want to ask you about that first.
The shoulder's still sore. It's just one of those things that you have to sort of play with. I guess, it still separates. So it's just sometimes I get hit on it and it hurts, and other times I don't get hit.
You know, we watched you warming up there. First of all, was this just a coaching decision to take you out, or was it aggravated further in the game? Were you hurting at all, or was it just Coach Cahill's idea to try to get a little something stirred up?
Well, he didn't take me out because I was hurting. I think he took me out because I wasn't moving as consistent as he probably liked me to. So it wasn't anything about any pain or injury that caused me to come out. I guess he wanted me to come out and take a look at things from the sideline and go back in. So
we took a look at you when you were warming up, though, and you really, when you're throwing the ball, it must be bothering you because you really have to turn your body and kind of push the ball out, right?
Well, what happened was I fell on the other arm on one pass, but it wasn't anything that I was just trying to make sure it didn't tighten up, and it wasn't anything that's, you know, any serious. It was just a matter of shaking it off after a while, and I just kept trying to throw and twist it out, and it was kind of kinky like a cramp in there, but it's okay.
Chuck, you've been down on the floor before and you've bounced right back up. The Argonauts looked as if they were going to go into one of their tail spins for the entire season this year, but now you're at the halfway mark, and this is a pretty good positive step to kick off the other 8 games.
Well, yeah, we had to win this, like Ray said. This situation that we came in with, knowing that Ottawa won and that Montreal was so far ahead of us that we had to sort of stay in the middle of the pack, if not be able to catch up with Montreal. And we knew we had to play them 3 out of our next 4 games, and we had to start off on a winning track and help some of the younger ball players on the team get a little positive attitude about even playing them. And it was an important game, this particular game, for us to win up here in front of that many people, you know, and they were against you in that situation, and to come out on a victory.
Marv Levy said before tonight's game that they have to have these 70,000, 65,000, 60,000 people behind them. I think it helped the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think I personally felt like, you know, they were all against us, and that it would be a great challenge just to go out there and do a good job against them with that many people. It was the first time many of the guys that played in that stadium, including myself, and it was quite an exciting feeling just to come out there in that field and play.
Okay, Chuck, congratulations. Nice game. Have a good second half of the season. Let's go back up to the broadcast booth. Here's Don Chevrier. Don?